Hey there, comic book fans. Remember I showed off this G.I. Joe 119? And I told you to have a story with it. Well, I'm going to tell you that story now. But first, I'm doing a little recreation here so to set the scene. So let me show you my desk, what I got here. G.I. Joe came out, let's see, it says December of 1991 this came out, which means I was working on this issue when I was at Marvel in the Bullpen doing production, probably in the summer of 1991. And this is what we used to have to do. In order to save time, they'd send the lettering out to the letterer who would letter it on an overlay, so we'd get a sheet back on vellum. I just made a printout of the lettering, just roughly to show you. So we'd get something like this with just lettering on it. We'd have to turn it over, white out the back, because it wouldn't be on white paper, it would be on a tracing paper. White out the back with, you know, those little Pentel whiteout blue bottles that they have? We'd crack them open and pour them all into a bigger bottle. And then we'd have like it would be a rubber cement brush bottle, and we'd brush the white out on, wait for that to dry, get some rubber cement, brush the rubber cement on, and then we'd also have to brush rubber cement on wherever the balloon was going to go. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Then the next thing we have to do is we get an X-Acto knife just like this, and you cut out around one of the balloons. Man, I haven't done this since the 90s. Even in demonstration mode. You'd cut out around one of the balloons with the, you pop the balloon out. This paper's a little thicker than that. Matter of fact, we'd even use some X-Acto tweezers to hold the balloon in place, like that. And then you'd just lay it down here, because there'd be glue down here. This is what's called dry mounting. There's dry glue on each side. When the dry glue comes into contact, it sticks. So we dry mount that on there. Burnish it down with a little burnisher. Make sure it stays down. And then we'd take, we had technical pens in those days, but these days you just use any little black marker. And then on all the little areas around the balloon, you'd have to match it up. You'd have to draw right on the balloon to match it up to whatever art is around it. So, you just want to make it look seamless. You're not drawing on the art, you're drawing on the balloon. So, just to get that, if you see there's a little area of white where you cut around the balloon, you just want to get that to match up. So there I was doing this on this exact page. And, you're looking at the page, seeing where the balloons go. And I notice this little guy down here, who I don't know the Joes, but I'm told it's Cobra Commander. And I could swear he's standing there giving the finger. And I'm looking at the original art going, Herb Trimpe drew this, by the way. Going, wow, Herb Trimpe snuck a little guy giving the finger on the page. Of course, I don't want to say anything. I'm like, I wonder if anybody else will notice. Because it's only half an inch tall on the original art. So I think I showed it to a couple of my friends in the bullpen. Like, we were all like, hee. And they're like, don't tell anyone. Don't tell. I think, here we go. Rick Parker did the lettering, and Bobby Chase was the editor. So it's like, shh, don't tell Bobby. We'll see if anybody notices. And so then I, finished the page, handed it in. And put it out of my mind until the issue finally came out. And this is the issue. This is the first time. I haven't had a copy of this issue for the longest time. That's why I finally got one, just because but I had one, I saw one after it was printed. We used to get all the copies after they were printed. And it turns out Herb Trimpe is not only writing and drawing it, he's also coloring it. So I really laughed because I didn't know I didn't realize at the time he was coloring it, when not only is the little guy giving the finger still there, Herb Trimpe colored a spotlight on him. So, it cracks me up to this day. From then on in, we in the bullpen referred to giving the finger as the secret Cobra salute. Because sure enough, no one noticed, and no one ever said anything about it. No one ever... We were the only ones who knew it existed until I think it was one of the... It was Comic Book Resources. They have their Comic Book Legends section in there that they do once or twice a week. And I actually sent this idea, told them this story on that, and they printed it in their Comic Book Legends. And that was the first time anybody outside the Marvel bullpen had any idea that Herb drew a little Cobra commander giving the finger. So that's why I finally tracked down this issue all these years later, because somehow I never saved a copy of it, and now I have it. So next time you want to give the finger, just tell somebody it's the secret Cobra salute.